I am Vinnie Tortorich. Folks, your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. It's the last Monday show of the year. I shouldn't be this jacked up, but I am, because I'm on an extra super duper load of my own espresso right here. Now, this show, look, at this time, before I get into that, let me bring her in, the beautiful Miss Anna Vocino. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, there she is.
It's cold where I am.
Oh, I see that. You look like you're in Minnesota or something with that hat.
Yeah. Well, I'm in New York. Yeah. It's 10 degrees outside.
How do I get an Eat Happy beanie like that? Do you sell them? Yeah. You do?
I'll send you one. You just get one.
No, I'll buy it.
That's insider. No, you won't.
Can I buy it off your site? I'm buying it today, so don't send one.
No, you're not allowed to buy it. I'll refund you your money, Toot Sweet.
I will buy that hat, and as soon as I figure out what Toot Sweet is, I will curse you back.
You're not going to buy a hat. But I do.
The last show, like there's another show coming out on Wednesday, actually on the eve.
That's right, on New Year's Eve. We'll let Chris do that heavy lifting.
But here's the deal. Chris and I have already started a thing.
Okay.
That's coming out on that show where I'm doing 10 weeks in a row on the Wednesday show of just teaching, people how to work out in the gym. That's it. And it's going to coincide with my release of the fitness of the gym routines. Right. So that we're already getting it. We're in the new year already, but you and I, we have a tradition.
We sure do.
And our tradition is the last show of the year. We do Same Auld Lang Syne by Mr. Fogelberg.
That's right.
And we also talk about New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
Now, Anna's resolutions are a little more personal to her, so she doesn't like to talk about them much. So I'm just going to let you guys know. And I know what Anna's resolutions are because, we're tight. We're buddies.
Yeah.
But she likes to keep them to herself for certain reasons. I get it. I put mine out there.
I don't think you'd go into it, but okay.
Yeah, look, I get it. But here's the deal, Anna. I find that when I put my New Year's resolutions out there, it helps me, number one, stick to it. And number two.
No, they say that the threat of public humiliation is a very good motivator.
I don't really need that, but once I say something out loud, it's done. Pretty much in my brain, once I have something in my brain, it's a fait accompli.
Right.
It's kind of like your Toot Sweet over there.
That's right. We're both parlaying Français.
Yeah, we are. Now, as you know, last year, my fun thing to do was to build a train set. And for all intent and purposes, it's done. Now, most people would say, well, what are you talking about, Vin? You went out and bought a Lionel train and you put it together. That couldn't have taken 5 minutes. No, I started from scratch and I built.
You did a whole scene. You did a whole 3D landscape. It was intense.
The train is like the smallest part of the whole thing.
Yeah, the train's like 20% of what you did.
Not even that. I'm not kidding. You're building a scenery, and I built it right here in my office. It's on a 4-foot by 6-foot table. I built the table from scratch. Everything came from scratch.
Yeah.
For all intent and purposes, it's done. And a buddy of mine from high school started saying, "Hey, can you send it? I want to see this. My older brother's thinking about doing this." At some point, he wrote to me. I kept sending him videos, and he says, "Vin, it looks like you're done. When will you actually be done?" And I said, "At some point, I'll have to put the paintbrush down." For all intent and purposes, it's complete. I saw the other day, I was like, I got this farmhouse over here. I want to have a little tiny truck from the 1920s or 30s, but it's got to match a truck that, So yeah, every now and again, I'm going to buy a toy to put it in my scene, but for all intent and purposes, it is DUN done.
Okay.
So you would go, big deal, dude. You build a train. It's a sense of accomplishment. The other thing, and as you know, for the past so many years, I've been making, I had to do over 365 hours of aerobics within a year. And every year that I planned on doing that, I did well over 400 hours. Some years, 420, 450 hours of aerobics. This past year, I told myself that I would do less aerobics. I didn't put a number on it, but I said it would be less than 365 because as an aging athlete and aging human in general, I wanted to spend more time putting on muscle. And when you're doing aerobics all the time, you're doing two things. Number one, you're burning a lot of calories that can go to make muscle, and you could be burning up some muscle. Nothing wrong with aerobics. I love aerobics. You have to stay aerobically fit. It's part of your system that you must keep strong. But I wanted to spend more time in the gym working out. When Anna and I were talking earlier today, Anna, what was I doing?
Working out.
I was pumping iron.
I knew from the first second that you were like,
you can tell, you can smell the testosterone through the phone.
This is exactly how you sound. You go, hello.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's working out.
Yeah. I was pumping iron. So I did add some muscle to my body this year.
Great.
I wish I had taken a scan before. Right. I wish I had done a DEXA scan before I started and now to show exactly how much muscle I gained. But I can look in a mirror and see a big difference. The biggest difference I noticed was my daughter was taking pictures. We went to Barbados a few weeks ago, and there were pictures of me on the beach. And I was like, oh yeah, I put some muscle back on. This is good. My numbers in the gym also went up. You know, how much I can bench press, how much I can squat and deadlift, and everything else went way up, which means I've gained some muscle.
Nice.
So mission accomplished. The other big goal was to get my companies, which were failing. I took my companies back right before the end of last year.
Huge.
And there was no guarantee that I would be able to save my own companies. I'm talking about Pure Vitamin Club, Pure Coffee Club, and NSNG Foods, which made ultra fat. I was able to save 2 of the 3. You know, sometimes you have to amputate, right?
Yep. That was rough.
It was. Now, my friend Mike Dawson, you hear his voice at the beginning of these shows. Mm-hmm. That's Mike Dawson. You also hear him on the Adam Carolla show. Mike wrote to me the other day. He goes, hey, man, do you have any of the ultra fat left? He's one of the biggest ultra fat fans out there.
I miss them. I miss them so much.
I do too. I mix up the formula right here at home, but I got to whip up a big batch for myself. And I don't have the myelin things, you know, so it's hard to carry and whatever. But I wrote to Mike and said, Mike, we don't make, he goes, I know you don't make it anymore, but can you sell me a stash? It's like the stash is all gone. It's all gone, all of it. The beauty is that I still own the company and I still pay taxes on the company and everything else. And I'm not letting the company go.
Yeah.
Because one day, if I can see how we can make it work, I will bring it back because it was a terrific product.
I mean, you had my co-founder, Matt Skeeter, was at the private label show talking to co-packers about and getting people for, he was like, we got to get Vinnie back doing this.
Yeah.
Talking to co-packers.
I want to.
That. I told Chris that.
Yeah, I want to get back to it. We want to. Yeah. We looked at a bunch of different co-packers, but just to keep it going, when I took the business over, I had to put 6 figures in, and it's still. And then I had to shut the kitchen down in LA because there were riots in LA, and I couldn't get anyone to go to work because they were scared. It just became such a shit show. So I had to let that go.
Crazy. Yeah. By the way, I'm in New York because I was in Boston and New York for these two events to
Right.
meet, investors, et cetera, and do the whole thing. And I will have a full report on the food fuckery.
Yeah.
The food fuckery from the Funders and Founders event. Funders and Founders Food Fuckery will be the title of our next episode. And I took copious notes and I was texting you throughout the whole thing. And I was like, all this hard work we're doing with food, it's going to pay off. It must. It just must, because there's so much crazy bullshit out there. So when it's time and you're able to bring the ultra fat back, that'll be fantastic.
Yeah. Look, this show is not about that. It's just I was able to bring vitamins back and, bigger and better than before. The coffee, which never went away, we were never really having problems. We figured out all the shipping problems.
Great.
And that got me thinking about my New Year's resolutions for this coming 2026.
Before you say that, then I will say some things that our company accomplished this year, and then we'll talk about next year.
Okay.
You guys, the audience, invested in the company. We did an equity crowd fundraise and raised almost $700,000, which is mind-blowing. And also, I love it when I get to say that to investors, because they make a face. I'm making a face for those of you who are listening, because they're shocked. And I'm like, yeah, it's real. People want to change things out there.
Right.
And they are willing to put their money where their mouth is. So they're not just customers of like buying our premium products. They're investors in Eat Happy Kitchen. And so that was, to me, just so mind-blowing to hit that goal. I thought maybe we might do $250,000. So to do almost 700,000 was just, it far exceeded my expectations. We launched our cheese bites, and again,
excellent,
a Herculean effort.
Yeah.
So thank you. Today at the event, a woman came up who I saw at the Winter Fancy Food Show in January of 2023 in Vegas. And I talked to her and I said, oh, you know what? Because she tasted the cheese bites. She's like, oh my God, these are so good. I said, well, they took 18 months. And then I realized, I was like, well, wait a minute. That was January 2023 was the first time I went around and found some cheese guys and first started having the conversations with people. Hey, can you make this thing I want to make?
Right.
And they all said no. And it took me. So I was like, it was actually more like 2.5 years, not 18 months. It was 30 months.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
Because, and I want people to understand this, because this is all about, you can't lose weight, you can't get in shape and the whole thing. Since you've been in Hollywood, and not just as a businesswoman, as an actor, as a comedian, as one of the top voiceover specialists to ever live, females, we know there's some males greater than you. Okay, but I mean, come on, you were a first. You hosted a night on a major network.
Yeah.
That's a first.
Yeah.
I mean, the Anna's
and
done.
Then was a whole voice of a network.
Right. So Anna,
they let a lady on the air.
Look, I'm not just saying this to blow smoke up Anna's ass. Anna, she broke a glass ceiling in the broadcast world. Your whole time, from the time you took a baby and your husband and got in a broken down car and went to Hollywood, did you ever hear yes on the first time around, or the second or third time around? Did you ever hear yes in, like, starting anything, comedy, acting? Did you ever get a yes right out of the box ever?
I don't think. I've always wondered about beginner's luck, because I do think beginner's luck is real. And the reason why I say that is because I have witnessed people stumble into some pretty cool things because they weren't in their heads to get in their own way. That's what I think beginner's luck really is that you don't know what you don't know. So you're honestly able to sometimes line up with stuff. That's never been me. I've been like the persistent person who's like, all right, well, if you keep saying no, I'm going to go over here. And also I get angry when people say no. And I always say anger is a great motivator. I have to in my, I don't say this to the parties that be, but I have to say to the, whatever is keeping me back, go fuck yourself. you're not going to say no for long. So that's what motivates me to go. So in making those cheese bites, it took a lot of breaking down doors. One guy in particular was like, I love what you're doing. I will never work with you and do that because it'll conflict with what I'm doing. Okay, fine, whatever. Then other people are like, I don't get it. You have to put one company puts quinoa in it, another company puts I'm doing sticky stuff, tapioca,
Right.
and things like that. Like they want to put those things for sticking the flavor, like all sorts of little
Yeah. There's all kinds of
ways
crap.
of messing with stuff.
Yeah.
So, it just takes a while, and then you just have to go, everything is figure outable. And just because I don't know what it is right now, listen, I'm a huge believer in the idea of follow the thread as long as you can until you can no further. And then at that point, you have to stop and do something else and trust that if this thing's meant to be, something's going to come up. And it usually does. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
solutions will come sometimes when you get off of it. But when you know you've done everything you can, and for a second, just give that a rest and focus somewhere else for a minute. Generally,
right.
that
I
other
agree
thing
with that
comes.
part of it.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of things where I got to a point, I said, okay, I have to back burner this. But you never forget about it because a year or two from now, something else comes up and you go, oh, that thing I was working on back then could now work.
Now be this thing. And then it's like, oh God. And I love it when that happens because you're like, oh, it's reviving. And
Yeah.
you know it. You know it in your heart. You're like, oh,
Right.
this is happening. And you also know that like when you can't push anything anymore, and I would like to think it's kind of like training really hard. Like there's only so much you can lift. You can lift to failure, and then you have to stop and let your muscles
Right.
themselves. Like
Right.
things have to like restructure, and then you go back to it. So a lot of huge business developments, and then I do have other announcements that are gonna. I mean, I wrote a whole other book that's coming out in 2026. We just solidified the cover today, this morning. So a lot of shit got done. And then I'm looking at my list because I always do my thing, your best year yet. I always do that process. And sometimes this year I'm not doing it because I don't have time, but I run a seminar on how to do it. But I actually just looked at all of my things, and my one thing that I didn't accomplish, I accomplished something completely different and better. However, if there ever is something that you don't accomplish, I like looking at that and going, why? You have to look at why. What is it that kept you from doing that thing? Were you dishonest with yourself? Were you not committed to actually doing it? Was that not the right goal? Did you pivot your priorities? But I always like when there's something that you didn't do, because then you can really be honest with yourself about where you can improve.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sometimes, things fall by the wayside and you have to, have a good talking with yourself. It's like, why did it?
Yeah.
What was my part in it? Right. Look, with the Vitamin Club, it's easy to blame my partner.
Yeah.
But I own the company.
Right.
Right. So I took full blame. It's like I took my eye off the ball. Right.
Yep.
Andy did what Andy did. I still love Andy. I don't think he likes me too much. But
Probably not.
But I had to do what I had to do because the company was failing. And I blame myself.
Yeah.
Right. So when I took it over, I had to look at my assets. And when I looked at my assets, most people would look at money. Well, I couldn't look at money as an asset because guess what my company didn't have?
Right. Yeah.
It didn't have money.
Right.
I couldn't look at the product because guess what my company didn't have? It didn't have product. The only thing I had was a bunch of customers going, where the fuck are my vitamins? Right? I let those people down. So I had to look at other assets. And those assets had names. Those names are names like Debbie, Anna, Leona, Serena, Chris. Those were my assets. All I had was personnel, right? I had people around me who I went, these people have always believed in me. I don't know if Debbie believes in me a whole lot, but she...
I think she does.
But you understand what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah,
I looked around and went, okay, I don't have money, I don't have product, but I got people around me that believe in this. I have people that work for me. They didn't jump ship and they didn't go anywhere else. I cut all the dead weight and we got to work. We literally got to work. I had to go find money.
Yeah.
In other words, I had to take all of my personal money. And this is a crazy thing. And folks, I am not telling you to do this. Please do not take this advice from me, because I don't want you to come back and go, well, Vinnie told me to do this. I'm 63 years old. Most people are retiring when they're my age.
Right. And you're basically investing into what is a new company with an old track record that's...
But wait, Anna, it's worse than that. I've never had a 401k in my life because I work for myself. I only have IRAs, SEP IRAs, all this kind of stuff. I had stocks. You know, I've been buying along the S&P for the past 40 years. But that was my nest egg to retire. And everyone I spoke to said, file chapter, whatever. Walk away. Don't do this. And I said, but you know, I would have to.
They were saying, don't do it. Like, don't fund your own company.
Don't fund it. Walk away. You know, I said, listen, there are people who I owe product to. I can't walk away from them. And it's like, I would have to come up with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands just to give them their money back. You don't have to give it back. You could go chapter 11, chapter 9, chapter 2, whatever chapter it is for a business, right? There's different chapters. Yeah. Right? I was like, but I can't do that. These people trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Every attorney thought I was the biggest idiot in the world because I took my life savings and put it into this company and turned that company around. And I turned it around fast, really fast. Now, I'm not completely paid back yet, and it's going to take a long time. But I was able to turn that company around.
Well, you had to make an educated, a calculated, intelligent risk. You're betting on your own company. You know your products are good. You had to make a choice to save the company. You could have made a choice to let it go, and you chose otherwise because you wanted to do right by everybody.
The educated move, Anna, would have been to do what the attorneys told me to do. I did the opposite.
See, I disagree. I don't think that's educated. I think that's conservative, but I don't think it's educated because what you're closing down is this. You have IP, you have patents, you have formulas, you have trademarks. You have all this stuff that is ready to be a business, provided it's being run correctly, which now it is.
Yeah, and you know it's lean and mean and it's running. So the New Year's resolution for this year, you know, there's no train set being built, there's no kayak I'm sanding, nothing, is to keep looking at my assets, my Anna Vocinos, my Leonas, my Debbies, my Chris, all of these people who believed in me. In that
order, folks. In that order.
Probably not. But, you know, look at my assets and go, okay, how can we all keep building and how can we all keep succeeding? That's number one. Number two, the idea of doing the same amount of weightlifting in a gym, that's going to continue because I see what it's done for me at my age. I also looked around and said, you know, again, it was a failure on my part because I was doing so much. I filmed all of these workouts about 9 months, about 10 months ago. Yet they're still not out because the editor I had editing it was not like Peter Pardini. So Chris and I have pulled it all back from him. We're finishing the edits myself, me and Chris. because hell, I did 4 documentaries. If I don't know how to do simple editing for a workout video, I
You're just like,
how can I call myself a movie?
then you need to retire. Yeah.
Right. So I'm doing that. We're getting them out. We're opening the VIP right at the beginning of it might even be open by the time this comes out.
Ooh,
Right?
yes.
It could be open already. I'm opening the VIP. I'm putting the workouts out there. I'm doing these workout style packages on the Wednesday show. So Ann and I could talk about the current news. I could do workouts on Wednesday, and I do the call-in show and the experts on Friday. I got some of my favorites. I've already gone. I've done Dr. Anthony Chafee. He's probably out already. I'm doing some of my favorites. I'm bringing this around again like you've never seen.
Amazing.
You know, that's my New Year's resolution, is to keep motivating people. I'm sticking with. Every year, my accountant says the same thing. When are you going to drop doing these consultations? They see what I'm doing. My accountant goes, you realize your time is not well spent talking to people, right? And it's like, you don't understand.
What?
That's what I do. That's what I do. Right? It's like, well, you don't charge enough. You need to it's like, no, I charge what I charge and that's it. By the way, I haven't raised the price on that probably since 2014 or 15. I did one price increase ever on the consultations. That's it. I've never gone any higher. Cost of everything has gone up except that. Because I love working with people and I love doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm that's my
Do you limit the number that you do per week, or how do you?
Well, I don't know if you remember, Anna, but at the beginning I did 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And then I cut it to 6 days a week. And then I cut it to 5 days a week. So I just do it Monday through Friday. I used to do it from 8 in the morning until 7 at night, but now I think it's 9 my time until 6 my time. And if ever I need to do something, I will let Debbie know. She'll just cut out that time in my schedule. But that's pretty much how, but it's 5 days a week. You can get me on the phone. And I'm going to continue that into 2026. So those are the resolutions. They're a little different than this year. I'm going to still do the workout stuff. And this is small, but I want to spend more time rowing on the water.
Oh, great.
I want to get better at that portion of it. I feel like I learned how to row a scull, but I never got better. I want to become a better rower this year on the water versus just, messing around. So as soon as springtime comes and that water warms up, I'm going to get out there and start rowing in a more significant way. So I have a bunch of little goals like that. My skating, I'm going to continue with that. Oh, big one, Anna. Big one. Okay. Something you and I have to talk about. You know that hook that you gave to your friend that you put in your iliopsoas?
Yeah, that I wish I never gave away.
That thing has now changed my life. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about advertising. I'm going to see if they have an affiliate program.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
I started off using it twice a day. Now I use it once a day when I'm doing these other stretches. I may do a whole video on this for the community, for the VIPs or something, because my back has not felt this good in 20 years. I kid you not.
That's amazing.
I have articulation in my back.
You need to do a video. Do an Instagram.
I'll do a something, but
you're back on Instagram, sir.
Yeah, every now and then I've been doing a little Instagram, but I will do a video at some point early in the new year when I get back from Kristen's.
Great.
But I might even start advertising that product, once we're done with Jasper and some of these other ads, because I don't like to just add it up too much. But that thing, along with doing these stretches that I took from other people's videos, including her video, has made my back so much better. So I'm going to try water skiing again when the water is warm enough. You can rent a boat near here, and I'll teach Serena how to drive a boat with a skier in the back. That shouldn't be too difficult. If not, I'll just get, Bonzo to do it. But either way, I'll figure out how to since I hurt my back trying to water ski, I want to make that happen this year. So there's some of my goals. Folks, we just mentioned that Jasper, JASPR.co. My younger brother, Frankie, just called me. He heard our Monday show, Anna, and he heard the Jasper ad from last week. He's getting one for his daughter for Christmas to put in her new condo. Or is it her home? She's got one of the two. Jasper.co. You want to go there. By the way, it's jaspr.co/Vinnie. Or you could put Vinnie in the promo code at checkout. You'll save $400. Their best deal, if you got the Black Friday deal and all that, was only $300. For our listeners, $400 off of your Jasper. Go get one right now. This is not an air purifier. This is an air scrubber. And when he says it scrubs the air, it really does. We put one in the bedroom. Now we have two of them in the house. By the third night, my wife was not snoring anymore. And then
That is so crazy.
I thought that was a joke when he said that. This woman has been snoring since I've known her. I know people think, oh, Bond girls, they fart fresh air, right? This kind of thing. No.
Well, they snore fresh air.
They snore, some of them. But I'm telling you, the snoring stopped. And she's telling me, she brought this up to me. She goes, I've been sleeping better. It's not possible that that thing is doing that. I said, Serena, it's funny because you're not snoring anymore because she doesn't know she snores. I know, right? It's funny how the snorer never knows they're snoring. I've never been able to figure that out. Anyway, jasper.co/Vinnie. Go get one right now while this continues because at some point they won't be advertising anymore and you won't get the good deal. $400. Anna, every year we play this song and it's time to do it again. But
by the way,
go on.
Quick, I just reminded Stephen Crutchfield.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That was my way of reminding you that I reminded Stephen Crutchfield.
Okay, thank you.
Catch my drift.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, I figured.
I smell what you're putting down.
Yeah, you picking it up?
So, Anna, I don't know if we talked about this last year. You tell me. And people are going, dude, you talked about it already. But if I did talk about it.
Who cares? We've been doing this podcast for 15 years. Guess what? We've talked about the same shit over and over again.
Calm down,
30
Anna.
days NSNG. When you're 30 days NSNG, then you can criticize what we talk about on this podcast.
Yeah, then you can start criticizing.
Vinnie, I'm calling people. I call people every day. Today I talked to the loveliest lady. Her name is Marion Clark. And she is so sweet. And she couldn't figure out something on the website, so I was helping her and I was talking to her. And she was so excited. She couldn't believe I called. I'm like, I call people. And you know what I hear from every last one? I just got an Instagram message from Mama Pavona saying I got to get back to keep it simple. I was like, you got this. You got to get on it. It's that time of year. Time to get back to it. So when I hear people bitching about shit, stop bitching and you point that finger back at yourself.
You got 3 pointing back at you, Anna.
Right.
You got 3.
Last year that we're repeating again this year, Vinnie.
Did we know that Dan Fogelberg was no longer with us?
Did we?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. It was
kind of like when John Madden died. I was like,
yeah, it's like, how can John Madden not be here?
But I was also like, I thought John Madden died like 5 years ago. So then I felt dumb and also bad that I was like, oh, John Madden.
Here's the thing. Dan died back in 2007. Here's the crazy part.
That seems like something we should know.
He died in 2007 of cancer the same year I figured out that I had cancer. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That is, yeah, he let's see, Fogel was married 3 times. Ooh, that's my boy. He kept meeting chicks in the grocery store.
No wonder he met all his exes on New Year's Eve.
Yeah. All his exes live in Texas. That's why he lives in Tennessee. Cancer diagnosis and death. In May 2004, Fogelberg was diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer. After undergoing therapy, his cancer went into partial remission. In August 2005, Fogelberg announced the success of his cancer treatment. However, his cancer returned, and on December 16th, 2007, Fogelberg died at his home in Deer Isle, Maine, at the very, very young age of 56.
No, I feel like we didn't. Did we talk about this? I feel like I remember this.
You see, Anna, I don't think we did, because we would have remembered this.
He was 56?
Yeah. Yeah, 56 years old. Now, folks, Dan Fogelberg, when I was a kid, had a lot of like soft rock hits throughout the 70s.
Would you call him now a yacht rock guy?
Oh, his songs are all
He's
on
yacht rock, right?
Yeah.
The yacht rock playlist.
Yeah, one of his songs was called Longer. That one was played a lot. And the other one was Leader of the Band. Those are the two I remember really well. But he also came up with this song, I want to say around 1980 or 81, around the time I was graduating high school. I graduated in the spring of 81. That winter, a song came out called Same Auld Lang Syne. And it's a holiday song, and we play it every year. Anna and I play it every year, and we talk about what's going on in the song. So just like we do for Christmas, we have to do this. We don't want to do it, right, Anna? We just have to.
By the way, I want you to know somebody wrote me, I think it was Diane, Diane Stroud. By the way, I really am 90% of the time great at remembering names, and then 10% of the time I'm Vinnie. Okay. You have a lot of qualities, but remembering names is not one of them.
I can always remember Scott King.
Scott King, 2 syllables, boom, boom.
I'm in, I'm out. It's Scott. My wife's name is Scott, and King. You know, so yeah, that's easy.
Diane Stroud, because I posted a picture of the math, the 12 Days of Christmas math that I write down. I posted that picture on Instagram and tagged you. You reposted it, right?
Yeah.
I got all kinds of responses, mostly about my serial killer / doctor handwriting. But then Diane Stroud wrote, "It's the only holiday tradition I have is listening to that episode of the podcast." And I was like, oh, girl, when I tell Vinnie that, that's it. We're in it for years now. We're going to be doing that every year. We'll never stop doing that because Diane Stroud.
You know, if anything ever happens to Serena and Diane, if she's free and something happens to Serena, I will marry her in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's right.
Is she good?
All you want is a woman to listen to you. Yeah, she's gorgeous. Of course, she's gorgeous.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm in.
I don't know her, but her pictures are gorgeous.
Okay, I'll look her up later. Are you ready for the song, Anna?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Dan Fogelberg, Same Auld Lang Syne. We
when
could do.
You need some olive oil.
Are you ready? All right, you go. You ready?
Pinch.
Keep singing.
When you gotta get your marinades. And you need it to be a cinch.
Keep going, Anna.
Guy over in Puglia.
Villa Capelli, 10% off. If Dan Fogelberg was around today, he would be using Villa Capelli olive oil. Villa Capelli, the best olive oil on the planet. No seed oils mixed in there. 100% pure olive oil from Tortorich, which is in the... Is it the Tortorich region or is it the Puglia region?
No, it's in Tortorich is in Puglia, just a half hour north of Bari, which is the capital of Puglia.
And folks, the great Frank Stallone and his lesser-known brother, Sylvester, they're from that area. That's right. Go get it right now. Villa Capelli, promo code Vinnie. Let them know we sent you. All right, Anna, you ready? So he saw his old lover in the grocery store. And now he's stalking her around. This is yacht rock, folks. He's stalking her in the store. Now, could this be Maggie Slaymaker, his first wife? Could this be Anastasia Savage, his second wife? Or could this be Jean-Marie Mayer, the wife he had until he died. So he was married to Slaymaker back in 82 to 85. But this says he met his old lover in a grocery store. So could this
have been his high school sweetheart? We don't know. Or his college gal.
I love that he married a girl named Maggie.
Wait,
yeah.
When did he write this song?
Well, the song came out in 81, and he married Maggie.
So it wouldn't have been Maggie.
Well, it could have been. Maybe he ran into her again. Well, you know what? Let's let the song play on.
Math is not mathing.
Well, he could have. Well, look, he could have dated her back in the day, and then he went off to college. She went off to college. This and that. You know, he's old enough. Maybe he saw Low Action in Nam, and he came back, and here he is in a grocery store, and there Maggie is.
Wait, when were they married?
82. A year after.
The song came out in 81.
Yeah. So he had same Auld Lang Syne money when he married her.
Yeah.
All right. You ready? You want to go a little more?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's see. So, folks, he's in a grocery store, it's snowing outside. It's Christmas Eve. He sees his old lover, and he's stalking her around the store, and then he walks up behind her, and he touches her on the sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see.
That's at least like a gentle way of saying hi. Like he didn't scare her.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's a meet cute. It's kind of like stuff you see in, like the thing they do in the Hallmark Christmas movies. Somehow the girl dumps a whole Starbucks on the guy who's heading in to do a presentation.
By the way, if that happened in real life, you would have to be so hot to overcompensate. Because I think in real life, if somebody dumped a whole coffee on you, you would you would hate them forever.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? You just ruined my shirt. I paid like $150 for this thing. I got a big presentation. You just dumped a whole venti on my shirt.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like, oh, no, it's okay. And they kind of brush it off. All right. So Dan didn't dump any coffee on her. So this is obviously not a Hallmark Christmas movie. This is real life. All right. You ready? Let's see what happens next. Okay. You see, I have a problem. Okay,
hold on.
You go first.
First of all, I feel like she is every woman who's trying to forget her ex-boyfriend. Like, I literally forgot what he looked like. He's so dead to me. Like, she didn't even recognize him.
But at that point, he was a legit rock star.
Yeah, but she still was like, who are you?
Wait, what?
Oh, it's that famous guy I could have married.
Oh, it's the guy that I blew off in high school? And now you're back? That guy, that Dan, that little Danny, who I said, yeah, you're not going to ever make it. You're not going to make it. And then next thing you know, he's the biggest thing in yacht rock. Of course, they didn't call it yacht rock back then. It was just music. And she's like, oh, it's you. And now she's sitting there going, I don't want to get this guy back. That's what I think. Right?
Yeah, probably.
Let's see what's going to happen next.
You think she is? See, this is why you have the male perspective. I have the female perspective.
Sorry,
my perspective is. I have definitely done that, and this was years ago because I've now been married for so long. But this was even years ago, back when I was newly married, and I ran into an ex-boyfriend, and I forgot that he was my ex-boyfriend. I was like, "Hey, how are you? Good to see you."
You seriously forgot that he was your ex-boyfriend?
We didn't date that long. And I remember turning to my friend and being like, I think I dated him. Has that never happened to you with a woman? Like, you're like, oh, I think we went out on some dates, but I can't remember.
Okay, I'm going to reveal something I said I would never reveal.
I'm sure that's happened, right?
Okay, so...
Am I the only one that's done that? Am I something else?
No, Anna, I'm going to come clean. Can I come clean about something?
Please.
All right. Back when I was in New Orleans, I'd kind of become somewhat of a big deal for a small town. And I was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I was on the radio. I'd been dating Lynn Ganser. She was the NBC affiliate, 6 and 10 o'clock newswoman. And at some point we broke up because she wanted to have children and everything. I didn't want to have kids. So we broke up, but it was a friendly breakup. We would still see each other a lot for lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
Because when you break up as friends, you still do the benefit part for a while.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So
until you meet somebody new, and then you're like, all right, I won't stop.
I was dating. Yeah. She was dating. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Back and forth. We were still hitting the benefits.
Yeah.
And so, people.
But you should. That's what that age is for. You should do that.
Yeah.
Have fun.
And this is the early 80s. I mean, we're listening to songs like Dan Fogelberg and everything.
Yeah.
So I was kind of a hot guy around town because, look, you get hit hot by association. I was with the most eligible female bachelorette in New Orleans. She was this good-looking woman that did the news.
Right.
She's a hometown celebrity. And once girls see you with a successful woman, your stock with women go way up. True or false, Anna? We see it in Hollywood all the time.
Oh, absolutely true. 1,000%.
That's why my stock was high. And I went on a bunch of dates. And so we were at this thing. I was at this thing, this charity event. It might have been Zoo to Do, which was I think it was Zoo to Do in New Orleans. It was a big deal. It was just a big deal. And apparently this girl that I went on a coffee date with probably took her to PJ's Coffee House, the original one down on Magazine Street. You know how when you see girls with their hair and ponytails and this and that, but then they're done up, they got the war paint on, like
Mm-hmm.
She was telling her friend was apparently going, oh, that's Vinnie over there. I'm kind of interested in him. And she was like, oh yeah, I've dated him. Like she was like, and she was like, her friend was like, yeah, you dated him. And she's like, yeah, I dated him. Take it off of that dog, Anna.
Hazel just came over to visit and say hi to us.
So anyway, this girl comes over to say hi, and I blew her off because I didn't remember her. And turns out I was being put in New Orleans Magazine. They did an issue every year, the most eligible bachelors and bachelorettes. So I had to go in for a shoot, and I did my shoot for the most eligible bachelor thing. And the picture they had of me in the magazine was effing horrible. Just horrible. And I was like, I called a friend of it. I was like, what did you guys do? Come on, what did you do to me? That's horrible. And she was like, yeah, this girl, she was the one that picked the picture. New Orleans Magazine.
Oh, she got her sweet revenge.
She got me good, pal. Yeah.
And you know what? Every time after that, someone said they dated you, you're like, hey, sweetie, it's okay. You were so nice to them. You were so nice.
I was nice. Anna, I was nice to her. I just didn't. I said something like, "And you are like." I didn't know. I didn't know it was her.
Did you sleep with her?
I don't know.
See, that's how I was with this one guy. I was like,
no,
did we sleep together? Maybe we did. I don't remember.
Anna, I swear, isn't that crazy? It's like now.
No, it's not crazy. And by the way, most people would never admit it, but it's happened to everybody. Please. Oh, not everybody. There's a lot of people who are not as slutty as we are. Let's be honest.
Listen, you ever have a memory? And you go, who was that? Like you remember the act, but you don't remember the person. It's almost like you remember the face.
No, I've not had that. I mostly just block it out.
No, every now and then I'll go, oh, I remember doing this. And I'll go.
And you can't remember who it was with.
Yeah.
No, I've been with the same person for so long. I don't remember having sex with anybody.
For me,
honestly, I don't. If I can't remember that I slept with the guy a couple of years after I thought I might have, I'm not going to remember it now. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I've been with the same guy for 27 years.
For me, I cleaned up when I got, I don't know, mid to late 90s. I cleaned up because I was trying to end up in a relationship.
Yeah.
But I had a good stretch from the early 80s through almost the entire 90s.
Oh, I know you were a player.
That was about a 20-year stretch.
Yeah, it was a good stretch. It was a good run.
Ouch. Yeah. Like, oh God.
My run was about 4 years.
No, my run was a good 20. And You see, my run coincided with all those hair bands. And I was around a lot of that because of who I was training and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of shrapnel. There's a lot of pilot fishing going off of the hair bands.
All right, we have to get back to the song. Now that we've established that we were slutty in the 80s.
Yeah, now that Anna
well,
was
me in the
born,
90s. I was too young to be slutty in the 80s.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, wow, we only got to sleeve. All right, you ready?
I know, and yeah,
this ain't going
the show
well.
was going to be a short one.
Yeah, me too.
My friend who I'm staying with is going to be home any minute too.
The conversation, Anna, is dragging.
Yeah.
So we all remember running into that ex at the grocery store. Remember that Hughes Market right there at the corner of Ventura and Coldwater? It became, I think, Ralph's at some point.
Yes.
I ran into an old ex there, and you're in the checkout, they're right behind you. It's like, so everything going great? Oh yeah. Like, you can't wait for them to total up your stuff. You want to get the hell out of there. You're running to your car. You're not looking side to side. You almost get hit by someone driving through the parking lot because you want to get out of there. So their conversation is dragging.
Right.
We all know that moment. Right?
Right.
So why would they get together if the conversation is dragged? First of all, they had that meet cute moment. She dropped her purse. Everything's all over the floor. Oh, look how funny. And they pick it up. Now the conversation is dragging. Why would they go any further than that? I guess we got to listen to the song and find out.
I guess we do.
We should have had Dan Fogelberg write the jingle for the Villa Capelli ad. He took bar and rhymed it to car.
I know.
It's like you guys had a drag.
We missed it.
Look, he knows how to write a song. Poor guy's dead. But here's the sad part, Anna. They were having a drag-ass conversation, but they got in a car and went looking for a bar together. Yeah. That part I've never been able to make peace with. And then they couldn't find an open bar because it's Christmas Eve. Even the drunks take a day off.
Well, back when I think bars used to close at the holiday. I think bars are now open.
Okay, but they're looking for a bar. They can't find one. They can, all right, well, I'll see you later. Nope. Let's go get a 6-pack. All right, so that's where we are. We're at 6-pack now. You ready?
Yep.
I know we hit on this every time.
The architect is just like, he was like, I just love that is the most like, it's like he's creative, but not too creative.
Right.
He's rich because he's an architect. He literally builds roofs so he keeps her dry.
Warm and safe and dry. Yeah, she's warm, safe, and dry.
He builds the safest buildings.
I think a lot of dryness.
Any architect.
There's a lot of dryness going on with this woman. She is not happy.
She is warm and safe and dry.
And dry. Yeah. Yeah. So, and remember when, look, folks, when I was a kid, there was a show called The Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
You know what Mike Brady did for a living?
He was an architect. That's right.
He was an architect. That Mr. used Brady to be a thing in the 60s and 70s. If you look, there were 3 people you wanted to marry if you were a woman. Can you name them?
Doctor, lawyer, I would say engineer and architect.
No, you're not even close.
What?
It was architect, astronaut, or airline pilot.
No, you don't marry. No, you don't want to marry an airline pilot and an astronaut. They'll cheat on you.
Listen, women wanted the bad boys. I'm telling you, that used to be.
You date them. You don't marry them.
You're thinking of like the 80s and 90s. Like, oh, let me just, let me date a doc. Let me get a doctor, a lawyer, the whole thing. No, women used to go for. They didn't care that much about the money. They wanted the exciting guy.
Yeah.
Can you? All right, look, you had a choice.
An astronaut. That was the 60s.
Okay, listen, Anna, calm down. 1971, 72.
You calm down.
You got yourself a bouffant hairdo, a beehive that you took from the 60s with you. You couldn't let it go. Yeah. You have a chance on a general practitioner or a guy that landed on the moon. Which direction are you going in?
Well, if you actually have a legit shot at the guy who landed on the moon,
I
then
know,
you're going to go for that.
It's a legit shot. You can have the guy who landed on the moon or the family doctor or even a surgeon. Which way are you heading?
Surgeon.
Okay, you're weird because back then, that's why you weren't born then,
Do you know
Anna.
what surgeons do? They invent medical devices. Do you know what medical devices do? Make you a lot of money.
You know what doctors do? They keep you dry. I'm telling you.
Well, they should know that you need lube.
Astronauts, they're hard living. They're drinking. They're living.
Sounds terrible.
Oh,
By the way,
those guys. Oh, come on. Architect. That's she married herself an architect. You know what? You could have married yourself Dan Fogelberg and gotten all of that money from Longer and all those songs when he died 5 years later. But no, you have to go marry an architect. So good luck. Stay dry. Okay, you saw Doubt. Let's just leave it at that. I want to get through the song. Yeah, your eyes were still blue. Was there doubt or gratitude? There was doubt because now you're in a car with a six-pack with a rock star.
mm-hmm.
You know, if you were so happy with your architect, you would have been at home. But no, you're in the car with Dan Fogelberg, who would be dead in a few years, and you would have all of that Dan Fogelberg money. But maybe not because he got married 3 times. So who knows? Yeah, she saw him in a record store. Oh, yeah, I just happened to see
And now
you.
she's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I was just rifling through.
Anna, let's say you and I were friends in high school. Let's say we went on a couple of dates. I took you to homecoming, this sort of thing, right? Just puppy love, high school, right? Yeah. And then you saw me in the record store. You saw me on an album cover. You would fucking stand there and everybody that walked by you, I know this guy.
Oh, it's legit crazy.
I know this guy, right? You would go nuts, right?
There's a girl who was Lucy's best friend when they were little kids.
Right.
Who is now international superstar. And when I first saw her coming on the scene, I was like, what? Now, that's not even an ex. That's just a little kid who was friends with, they were little best friends, right? All their sleepovers together, the whole thing. And I texted the mom. I was like, wait, what?
Crazy, right?
What? Like, it's so insane to see somebody that you know in that context, like jettison to the stratosphere. It is crazy. And back then, to see somebody on a record cover would be legit bonkers.
Folks, we didn't have cell phones, of course. We didn't have televisions were that big. Television screens were about the size of cell phones. So when you bought an album,
it was so important.
You went home.
Important. Yeah.
You went home and you put that album on and you sat right by the speaker and you looked
stare at it.
Cover. You would read everything on the back of the cover. If it was an album that opened up and showed you other photos,
if it opened and had photos or possibly lyrics, you would die and go to heaven.
Oh, like, if that it would be lyrics, you were the coolest kid on the block because you knew those lyrics that other people thought were something else. Right. Like, excuse me while I kiss this guy. You knew that.
Or take the back right turn. My friend, the song was literally called Paperback Writer, and she thought it was Take the Back Right Turn.
Yeah, there's so many of those, right?
Yeah.
No, you had the lyrics at your house. I remember my only friend when I was a kid, Jim Knoll. He had an album. I can't remember which one it was, but it had the lyrics on it. I went and got the same album, even though he and I tried to buy different albums so we can have double the album power. We didn't have a lot of money to spend.
Right.
We had the same albums because I wanted the lyrics. I had to go get it might have been ELO, that ELO album. I can't remember. At any rate, all right, let's continue on. I saw you in the record store. Are you kidding me? Oh, yeah. You want to get your cheesy bites? Today, I was just telling Anna, if you look through your thing today, you will see a woman. Her name is Anna, and her last name starts with H. She bought all of your powders. I told her on the phone today, I said, she was telling me about her taco. Now, let me tell you about Anna real quick. This other Anna.
Anna L? Oh, Anna H. Anna H.
See her?
I see her. Yeah.
What's the last letter of her last name?
Well, she has two different names.
She does.
Yeah.
And one of them starts with an L. Yeah, that's her maiden name because her dad is a big listener of ours.
Oh.
And she doesn't really know us, but her dad lost a lot of weight, paying attention. And now Anna is losing a lot of weight. And she just wanted to get straight on a bunch of things.
That's amazing.
She was telling me how
thank
she
you
makes
for doing that because she bought a spice variety pack.
Well, hang on. She was telling me how she makes the taco without the taco shell. And I said, you obviously you use Anna Vocino's. And she said, who's Anna Vocino? And I said, oh, that's right. You don't listen to the show yet.
Yeah.
I said, Anna Vocino is my co-host who started the show with me, who she's famous on her own, but she ended up starting this food company, and her spices are the best spices on the planet. Doesn't have anything in it except the spice. And you got to go get this stuff. She bought it while, Anna, I'll tell you this. I was on the phone with her from 11 until noon. She told me she bought it while she was still on the air with me.
On the phone. Isn't that just fabulous?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
You know what I did for her?
Thank you for doing that.
I said, Anna, not you, Anna, the other Anna with the H. I said, Anna, with the H, I'm going to do you one better. I'm giving you a free PDF from VinnieTortorich.com. Free PDF. I just sent it to her because
that is so nice.
She just wants to, she's in it to win it. She is in it to win it. Folks, you too can go get Anna's powders. You can go get her gravy. She calls them sauces. Go get the stuff. EatHappyKitchen.com. We all go shopping on Amazon. We're probably worn out from shopping on Amazon, but you're going to need toothpaste and razor blades and what have you. So when you go back to Amazon, please go to VinnieTortorich.com first. Click through the banner. It puts coal on the fire, gets my train down the track. I'm able to keep this show free for 1,000 years in a row. So please go and do that. So on behalf of Anna Vocino, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living.